Hello chaps, welcome to John Robson Guitar Tuition once again. As always, I do hope you're well. And as you can see from this headstock peering mysteriously into shot, we have another guitar to look at today. This is another one of the Guitars for Good Causes instruments that you chaps have very kindly bought. If you're new to this channel and you don't know what Guitars for Good Causes is yet, then briefly it is a GoFundMe campaign that I've set up, which basically donations to that campaign get used to buy guitars like this, which I then review. Once reviewed, the guitars are sold with proceeds going to a charity called Zoe's Place, which helps children under 5 with terminal illnesses. So a very worthy cause indeed. I don't make a penny from this. The only benefit I get from it is that, you know, I hopefully get to grow my channel a little bit. So let's have a look quickly at the state of play money wise for this campaign. So far from GoFundMe I have received £511.15. There's more than that in the pot, but that's what's actually reached me to this point. That includes a very generous donation of one chap who's a regular viewer to this channel. I'll spare his blushes by not naming him, who sent me a cheque for £50 just to kind of put into the pot without kind of going through the GoFundMe process and them taking their fees out of it. Out of that money we have spent £446.44 on the Harley Benton ST and TE70 guitars, the Blackstar Fly 3 amplifier, and this thing. Okay, this is the Harley Benton something or other. The model number is in the description of this video, but basically it's the Harley Benton Flying V, a guitar which costs the same as, well, less than actually what you can pay for a Kettle. Which I think says more about how much some people are prepared to pay for a mundane household item than it does for the price of this guitar. Anyway, let's take a look at me buying this guitar and a little bit about the spec. Okay then folks, here we are once again on the Thomann website, where today we're looking at the Harley Benton Victory BK Classic Series, or put another way, a Flying V copy. I chose this guitar for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I've done an awful lot of Strat and Telecaster style guitars of late, and I just fancy doing something a little bit different. And the other reason is that back in my younger days I was a massive fan of Michael Schenker, and this guitar just brought back happy memories for me, so we're going to take a look at it. It certainly looks the part. Let's have a look at the spec. Basswood body, glued in maple neck with a C profile. Fretboard is roseacre, which is that thermally treated maple stuff that I've got that on a CST 24 guitar, and it's absolutely fantastic. Nice flat fingerboard radius, 315mm with dot inlays, 22 frets. Scale length is a standard Gibson 628mm, which comes out at 24 3/4 inches in old money. Pickups, now classic ceramic humbuckers is what we've got here. Normally, as you probably know, I'm not a fan of ceramic pickups, but on a guitar like this I think they are perfectly in keeping. If you're buying a guitar that looks like this, you are not remotely interested in transparency or warmth at low gain settings. You just want to crank the gain up to 11 and leap around playing Into the Arena or something, don't you? 2 volume and 1 tone control, 3-way switch, tune-o-matic bridge, etc, etc. Strung with Harley Benton 10 to 46 strings. Never tried Harley Benton strings, so that'll be an interesting experience. Let's see what they're like. Okay, yeah, this all costs £103-ish plus shipping, so let's add that to the cart and then buy with PayPal. Thank you very much for your order. Your order has been submitted and will be processed by the Thomann team as quickly as possible. So, as soon as it arrives, we'll get to grips with it. Right then, so what's it like in the flesh? Well, pretty good, it has to be said. Straight out the box, everything was fine, you know. Action was on the low side of medium, intonation's fine, truss rod's fine, everything is basically fine. Fit and finish on the guitar is, guess what? It's fine. I mean, a guitar like this isn't meant to be about, kind of acres of flamed or quilted maple and sunburst this and gold plated that. It's meant to look kind of mean and menacing, and it kind of does. And as long as the paint has been applied evenly and there's no kind of orange peel effect or unsightly blemishes or anything of that nature, then I don't really think that there's any cause to complain, and that is definitely the case here. The neck feels quite big and chunky, very Gibson-ish. So if you were thinking that this might be, some kind of skinny-necked kind of shred machine, well, no, it's more like a flying V from Gibson would be. It's a big old chunky old school neck and very comfortable for that as well. Fretwork is pretty good. Again, no fret sprout, no sharp ends poking out the side of the neck. It could possibly do at some point with a little bit of a fret dress. I've noticed there are one or two little rattles, nothing that even remotely comes through the amp when it's plugged in, but you do tend to notice it if you're playing unplugged. Personally, if it were my guitar, what I would do is just leave it until the guitar just needed some fretwork doing on it, which they always do at some point eventually, and then I'd get that sorted out. Then it's certainly not anything that's going to stop you enjoying the guitar. I have the same gripe with these tuners as I did with the ones on the ST70 and TE70. They work fine, they keep the guitar in tune, they get the guitar in tune, but they just feel a little bit kind of numb and lacking in response. The little screws on the top here are tightened up good and tight, but there's still that little bit of a lag between when you turn the tuning peg and the actual gear engaging and you kind of tightening or loosening the string. It's not a deal breaker, frankly, and let's not forget, this guitar costs less than a Kettle, or some Kettles anyway. A £100 guitar, I think it has to be really insanely bad before you can start picking too many holes in it, and this is a perfectly usable guitar. Now then, the one thing I'm not going to do here is judge this guitar on the quality of its clean tones. As you saw in the specs earlier, it's got high output ceramic magnet pickups in it, and judging this guitar on the quality of its clean tones would be like judging a Lamborghini on its off-road capabilities. It's just not meant for that. So we're going to dispense with any cleanliness in the sound department and go straight to the crunch and rock tones. So let's hear what it sounds like all crunchy, shall we? And now for a melodic riff played on the neck pickup with a bit more gain. And finally, 8 bars worth of bridge pickup high gain twiddly stuff. Now, somebody usually asks in the comments section, what was I plugged into? Well, it was a Voxtone Lab ST using a Soldano amp model. So there you go. I think you'll agree it gives a rather credible set of sounds for classic rock and metal. It's a cool looking guitar, it has to be said. You know, if you are wanting something that shouts your rock credentials to the audience, then this will do you. Let's not forget, this guitar costs less than some people are prepared to pay for the necessary equipment to make a cup of tea. It's ridiculous. This is £100 guitar, give or take a couple of quid. It's worth having just almost as something to hang on the wall and, you know, kind of decorate the wall. And unlike a painting, you can take it down and get another use out of it, i.e. as a musical instrument, which it very credibly is. I'll just state again that the clean sounds on this guitar, like any guitar equipped with high output ceramic magnet pickups, are nothing to write home about. You can coax a clean sound out of it, but I want to show the guitar in its best light and show it doing what it does best and what it was intended for. As I say, you could probably drive a Lamborghini across a ploughed field, but it wouldn't be the best thing to do with it. So hence, that's why we're concentrating on overdriven tones. For the price, you get a nice guitar that looks cool. It's reasonably well set up, or at least this one was, albeit with a couple of buzzy frets, which you'll be glad to hear I have taken the time to sort out. It didn't take long, and I thought it was just the right thing to do. Now then, I forgot to mention the controls earlier. Yes, you've got 2 volumes and a tone. The volume controls are, as you would expect, this one is for the neck pickup, this one is for the bridge pickup, this is your master tone control, and a 3-way selector switch that does exactly what you expect it to do. Yeah, it's a great little guitar. If you want this guitar, then where are we today? It's Friday the 25th of May today. This will be going up on eBay at 9:30 AM on Saturday the 26th of May UK time. So that's your cue to start bidding if you would like to own this guitar. Whatever you end up paying for it, the proceeds, every penny of it will go to Zoe's place. I cover all the eBay fees and PayPal fees and shipping costs and everything, so don't worry about that. The charity sees every single penny that you will pay for this guitar. And that's pretty much it for this review. I'll just finish off by saying that if you would like some tailored one-to-one guitar tuition, then give me a shout via the details at the end of this video. If you live on Teesside in the northeast of England, you can come along for a face-to-face lesson, or if you live anywhere else in the world, you can have a lesson via Skype, and whichever way you do it, your first lesson is free. So, keep your eyes open on eBay for this guitar tomorrow, folks, and until the next time, bye for now.